Welcome back, everyone, to another Patriots draft video. Today we're going to be talking about Javon Baker, the 110th overall selection in the 2024 NFL Draft made by the New England Patriots. So let's get right into it. So the Patriots have really made the wide receiver position a point of emphasis in this year's NFL Draft, drafting not only Javon Baker here at 110th overall, as well as Jalen Polk in the second round, but really just looking to address that one critical need that the Patriots have been lacking so far these past couple seasons, which is a valuable X receiver that they can really throw the ball up to on the outside. Devontae Parker certainly didn't work out in that aspect, especially you can see that he was cut a year after that contract extension. But hopefully Javon Baker's game will be able to translate to the NFL and he could kind of work into that X receiver role that the Patriots have more so been lacking. But just taking a look into Javon Baker, he can certainly display some of those tendencies of the X receiver, and which is an encouraging sign, which he might be able to translate over to the NFL. He has a really good ability to beat man coverage. His grade versus man this season was a high 70s, around 79. While he's not necessarily a speedster, with his 40 time being a 4.5, it certainly does show a little bit quicker on the field. It's more so a speed on the field compared to his time speed. Has good acceleration, especially too, breaking in and out of routes, so that can certainly look like he is quicker than he might be timed, but it certainly does help him get open and creates a little bit of separation for him. He has a large wingspan, so his catch radius is pretty solid too, which is good to have against for an X receiver, obviously. Like I said before, good good burst of speed coming out of routes, and especially against man coverage. He's shown the ability to work back to his quarterback as well as extend plays. If the quarterback scrambles, he does a good job of kind of finding that open area. And that's really going to help work well with Drake May, especially in the coming years. Drake May's probably going to have his struggles up and down, but having Javon Baker, someone who works back to the ball being thrown, and just being the deep ball threat that Javon Baker is, especially with how well Drake May works in that part of the field. This certainly could have a very good connection here in New England, as they already have a connection a little bit. Obviously, both of them were Alabama commits. Drake May obviously went to North Carolina, and then Javon Baker obviously went to the University of Central Florida after a couple of years of Alabama football. But they already have that chemistry a little bit. They've talked about it. They've thrown together, so hopefully that chemistry will translate a little bit here to New England. Like I said before, a very good deep ball route runner. He does have a little bit of inconsistencies in his game. However, like I said before, his hands are not the best. He does have a little bit of a high drop rate. Whether that's just kind of tracking the football more so or just a focus issue, it's certainly something that he's going to have to address during this offseason if he hopes to see the field. And he does have a little bit of inconsistencies with finishing his shorter routes, whether he's just getting pushed off by the corner or allowing the corner really to dictate where he's going with his route, or just the inability to really focus on finishing the route and kind of giving the defense a chance to make up for his route running. That's certainly something that needs to be addressed. As well as against a favorable matchup, he might actually rush his route a little bit, which will either screw up the timing with the quarterback or kind of show the defense what he's planning on doing. So taking a look into Baker's stats over the previous two seasons, his 2023 campaign was very successful. Had 71 targets, came down with 43 receptions for a reception percentage of around 60%. Had 966 yards, pretty close to an 1,000-yard season. His yards per reception was very high, around 23 at 22.5. Had 6 touchdowns. Had a pretty solid contested catch rate of around 46. He had 6 contested catches. He did have a high drop percentage at around 12% with 6 drops on the season. As well as he's shown the ability to get yards after the catch for a 7.4 yak yardage per reception. And his average yards run per route is around 17, so he works that intermediate to deep ball route game very well. He's able to get the ball down the field. That's where he's most effective in the receiving game. His overall grade was around an 80. He had a 79.7 for a receiving grade of 81.3. Very high receiving grade there. Nice to see. As well as a run block grade of around 62. Certainly, the University of Central Florida used him more as that wide receiver or out wide, having 484 wide snaps compared to only 157 slot snaps. So as you can see, he was kind of their X receiver. And with some of the numbers that he posted, he did a really nice job in that role. So taking a look into his 2022 campaign, he was targeted 86 times, came down with 50 receptions for around a receiving percentage of 58%, had 710 yards, had around a 14 yards per reception, average 5 touchdowns, 9 contested catches on the season for a contested catch rate of around 50%. Pretty solid there in that area. Hopefully that can translate well. Something that hopefully doesn't translate is his drop percentage at around 12%. He had 7 drops on the season. Really needs to get that under control. Averaged around 4.2 yak yards per reception. And his average yards per route was around 13. So as I said before, works well in the intermediate game as well as down the field. And this season they really used him as that out wide receiver. Had 614 snaps out wide, only compared to 45 in the slot. So UCF really viewed him as that X receiver, and I certainly think that's why the Patriots targeted him. He can certainly make some plays on the outside with his verticality as well as his big frame. Really just kind of bullies the corners and can make a lot of contested catches. And if he's able to translate that with Jalen Polk as well, that can certainly be a combo that works well. Kind of having 2 guys who can really work the ball down the field on the field at the same time is certainly an advantage, and it's hopefully going to spread out a lot of defenses as well as kind of allow the Patriots to work with an unloaded box that they kind of seen these past couple seasons with teams not really fearing the deep ball against them. So if these two are able to really hit on where the Patriots drafted them and translate their game to where they were successful in college, the Patriots are going to see a lot different looks from defenses, and the offense, I hope, is going to have a lot more success in that area. All right, everyone, those were my thoughts on Patriots draftee Javon Baker. Let me know if you have any thoughts or comments in the comment section below. And thank you so much again for watching, and I really do appreciate it.